so we're going to talk a little bit about industry insight. What first attracted you to join Infinity Primary Care?
Well, like Joel and I said, we've been working together many years, and we come from the emergency world. My specialty is emergency medicine,
yes.
and we've been working ER for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We did transition into urgent care, but in the emergency room, one of the things that we see all the time, not but many, many times, is that
mm-hmm.
patients go to the emergency room not because they have an emergency medical condition,
mm-hmm.
but because they have nowhere else to go.
Yes.
And that sometimes causes frustration for us as
mm-hmm.
providers. But when you stop a little and
mm-hmm.
talk to the patients and ask them, why are you here? In a nice way.
Yeah.
Why this is not an emergency. They clearly mm-hmm. know their condition is not emergent.
Yeah.
However, they end up in the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that most of them, either they don't have a
mm-hmm.
support system, whether they're not insured, or they cannot get a hold of their primary care physician,
yeah.
or they just don't have an emergency
mm-hmm.
primary care physician.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up in the emergency room.
Yeah.
Urgent care is a little different, but not that quite different.
Mm-hmm.
We see minor emergencies, obviously, that could be taken care at
yeah.
their primary care physician,
mm-hmm.
but they don't, and many
yeah.
times you ask a patient, you've been sick for like 4 or 5 days with cold symptoms, for example,
mm-hmm.
and they seem to getting worse. I
yeah.
call my doctor and, they give me an appointment in 3 weeks. Well,
yeah.
in 3 weeks, either you're cured or you're dead, right? So what do?
That's
they
right.
look for an alternative,
mm-hmm.
And in many cases, the same thing happens, patients who have chronic conditions like mm-hmm. diabetes, like hypertension, suddenly their sugars are high or their
mm-hmm.
they're dizzy.
Yeah.
They don't have a primary care physician. They can get to one if they have, and mm-hmm. they come to see us in the emergency room or the urgent care.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we feel that there is a huge need, a huge gap where we can fill in.